Hey, this is Andrew Brown. In this video, we'll take a look at S3 batch operations, and we're just going to perform a simple batch operation. As per usual, I have the AWS examples repo, and I already have it open in my cloud developer environment, which is Gitpod. I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder here. We're going to call this one batch operations. Now, I got to point out that batch operations can only be performed through the console, at least at this point in time. So we're just using this to quickly create our buckets. So say create 2 buckets. And let's just make 1 bucket for now, and then we'll go explore batch operations. Let's say it was S3 and B make bucket S3 /:/ batch fun AB, and I'll just put some numbers in here, and we'll go ahead and create a working bucket. So hold on here, copy, paste, enter. There we go. I'm going to make my way over to S3, and on the left-hand side, do we see batch operations? Here it is. We'll click into it and create a job. And so there's a few options we have. S3 inventory report, so we can create a report of inventory. We can produce a CSV of the manifest. Oh, sorry. In order to apply the batch operations, we need to first supply it a formatted file for it to iterate over, right? And then we can perform some kind of operation. So probably a good idea would be to utilize something like S3 inventory, which I don't think I did in a previous video, but I guess we can go ahead and do that now. So for that to work, we'll have to create several files. We'll just go here and make a bash script. So we'll say in ChatGPT, create like 20 different files of various sizes between 1 byte and 1,000 bytes in a folder via a bash script. Okay. And we'll just let it write that out there really quickly. Make a directory, create 20 files. Yeah, that makes sense. It's going to randomize a value of size. It's going to use DD, which we've used before to make a file size when we did the multi-part upload. So that works out really well. It's going to echo out and say let's create those files. So pretty straightforward. That's a very simple script. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. If you are following along, you don't have ChatGPT, okay, you can just go into the repo and grab that file. So create files. And I'm just going to make a folder called bin. We'll place that in here. We'll say move. And I'll just paste the script in here. This is totally valid. We'll just make a new folder in here. I'm just going to say files. And I just want to make a new file in here called keep. I'm just going to drag this one out here so I can get the path. And I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go over here and paste in our directory. And it looks, yeah, it'll create the file that way. So that's really good. I don't want to keep these files, so I'm going to go ahead and just create myself a git ignore. And I'm just going to say files, file underscore like that. So that way it won't keep any of those files. And yeah, that should be good. So I'll cd into our batch operations. I'm going to chmod with u plus x for the bin create file so we can execute it. We'll go ahead and we'll type in bin create files. So that has created 20 files here. That is great. We need now to sync those files. So we'll go ahead and go over to here and just say sync created files. So I'll say AWS S3 sync files file, or maybe files like that. And then I think we can just specify the path like this. The bucket here. I'm just guessing. I don't do sync every day, but I'm going to assume that this will work. And we'll copy this. Copying and pasting is super, super hard in the browser. And I don't know if it likes that. So I'm going to just type in clear here. And we'll look up AWS S3 sync. Then we'll go down to examples. So, I mean, that looks fine. Objects to sync a local directory. It'd be nice if they showed examples of a subdirectory. I don't know why they don't do that. I know we've done it before. Maybe if I just do this, it will sync it. Maybe we don't need the asterisk. There we go. Okay, great. So that's uploaded all the files there. Let's go ahead and do an inventory. Let's see if we can do that via this CLI. I'm not sure if we can. So we'll go to version 2 and all the way to AWS here. And we'll say S3 API. Inventory. It looks like we can do an inventory, so that's good. We'll go down to examples. To send an inventory configuration of a bucket. This one has no output. This one has output. Not sure why that matters. We'll go ahead and copy that. So we'll say create an inventory. We'll go ahead and paste that in. My only thought is, like, how soon do we get our inventory? Is it immediate? Is it often? So AWS S3 inventory. We covered this in the course. It's usually like after 48 hours or something, right? So if we go here, we say inventory. I feel like it happens after a certain amount of time. And we have to also specify destination bucket. This might be one of those things we got to just set up and come back for later. Let's take a look at our slides here, because I'm almost certain that it's not going to be instantaneous. Looking for this here. Delivered within 48 hours if we do daily. And the first one will be delivered in 48 hours. So it's not going to be something that we're going to get instantaneous. So maybe we don't want to do this because we just want to perform our batch operation. So instead, what we can do is just create a CSV file. So create a CSV file. And let's take a look at what format it wants for the batch operations. So we'll go back over to here. And if we go to CSV, CSV format is either 2 or 3 columns in the following order: bucket name, object key, and optionally version ID. So we really only need these 2 values here. And the way this is going to look is we're going to have this. I guess this is great if we're doing buckets across multiple, objects across multiple buckets. So that's kind of cool. We'll go ahead and paste that on in here like this. And we have, 20 files? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You get the idea. We'll go all the way down. I'm going to go to the end here. You're going to have to figure this out however you want to do it, but I'm using a vertical way of doing this. And it is not, it's not working. So I might have to do this the slow way, just like you would. We'll say file 1. Okay, I'll go down to the ground here, and we'll try this. We'll say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so that's all it takes to make a CSV file. It's not super complicated. So I'm going to copy this. And we'll just say file manifest CSV. And we'll paste this in. That looks good to me. I'm happy with that. And so we need to upload this file. So we'll go back over to here. And I'm going to sync it again because I want that to be in there as well. Whoops. We'll type clear here. So we'll try this again. I hit enter. The only thing here that we're missing is the folder. Did it upload it into a folder or just like loosey-goosey? Let's go find out. This was in our batch bucket. Batch. Down here. No, they're all loose in here. Okay, so everything's fine in here. That's fine. So yeah, we can just copy this contents here. Yeah, it's already pasted in here. Great. And now we can sync that file. So that file has now been synced. And so I'm just going to grab this path here. And we're going to go back to our batch operations and create a job. And we're going to say CSV. And we're going to paste it in here as such. we're not using versioning, so we don't have to do that. Looks like we could view it if we click it here. I guess that's it downloading to confirm that we actually got it. It's saying 0 bytes, which is not a good indicator. I'm going to try to open this up in Excel on my local computer. I just want to see that it was able to get that information. And it's showing nothing. So that's not a good indicator. I mean, I saved this file, did I not? Save. File. Edit. Save. Let's try this again. It uploaded it again, so maybe this file wasn't actually saved and my hotkeys weren't working. Sometimes that happens in cloud developer environments. You have to watch out for that. I'm going to open this up again. And let's see if Excel shows me that I have something. It's still empty. This is frustrating. So I don't like this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this file here. That's all there is to CSV. There's nothing special about it. Like, it's just comma delimited. But because I don't trust it, I'm going to open, again, this Excel spreadsheet that I downloaded. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go ahead and just copy the contents here and just assemble in Excel. You can do this in Google Sheets, whatever you want. This is what I have, so I'm using that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get the idea. File 1. Whoops. Let's go all the way to the top. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. 5, 6. I'll speed this up, okay? Now, one thing it didn't say if we had to do or not was whether we actually had to specify the heading. So it says the CSV must be formatted into columns in the following order. So maybe it's not supposed to have any headings, which is totally fine. So I'm going to leave them out in this one. I'm saving this locally. And I'm going to just try to upload this and see if I get less problems. I'm going to manually do it. I usually don't do that, but since we've been having so much trouble here, I'm going to do that. So we'll go over to our bucket, and I'm going to go into batch fun. I'm going to upload this directly. Error occurred, not sure why. We'll hit upload. We'll ignore this error. I'm going to go back over to our batch operations. We're going to have to try this again so that it can load that file in. And I'm going to go browse S3, and I'm going to go down below here and choose our batch folder right here. And I'm going to choose that CSV, which I don't see. I have to drop down to S3, or sorry, CSV here. We'll try this again. So batch. And next. And then there's our manifest file, so we'll choose that path. And I'm going to view it again. I'm going to hope this time. Oh, it actually went to a file. Okay, so then it must exist. The other thing, maybe when it uploaded, it didn't know what content type it was. I'm not sure why it messed up, but we'll go ahead and hit next. And so now we have some options. We have copy, invoke AWS Lambda function, replace all object tags. A lot of fun stuff that we can do. This is kind of interesting. AWS Lambda is a compute service that lets you do, etc. So I imagine that what this would do is it would iterate through each one, and you could process the function that way. And that's kind of cool. I like that. But I'm just going to go ahead and replace all object tags and just say, hello, world. We'll go ahead and hit next. And we can have a completion report. I'm going to place that in the same bucket as we've been working in so far. Everything else looks fine. We're going to go ahead and hit next. It really wants an IAM role. Choose an IAM role with the required access permissions and the trust relationship. Why can't I just have one here? Do I really have to create one? That's not fun. Fine. Okay. I guess I'll go make one. I was just hoping that it would have like a single button press. A lot of times the services will just like, hey, press a button, you can create it. But for whatever reason, they didn't do that there. They want us to work hard to be able to make this one. So I'm going to go ahead here and create a new policy. We'll call this an IM batch policy, I guess. This is for S3. And this is for object tagging, I guess. I don't want to figure out what it is. I'm just going to say all. And I'm going to say all. You're not supposed to do that, but it's the easiest way to get this done. S3 batch operation. Because you really should say only for put and get and object tagging. Because you need a couple things. You need to be able to read the objects. You need to be able to do get objects on it. But we'll just give it full access. And I mean, hold on here, because we actually had all the permissions here. I just got kind of caught up with the policy creator, but we're going to go back there and actually do our own custom one. If it'll ever load, and it's not, so we're just going to hit continue and try this again. So let's say create policy. Okay, I'll be back here when my internet is working again, so just give me a moment, okay? Okay, let's see if this works now. There we go. I'm going to go over to JSON. And then in here, we'll go back over to the batch operation. And here's the policy template. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it in here. And we have a couple things. Target resource, the manifest file, and that. So this is all in the same bucket, so we'll go ahead and copy this. I know that's really hard to read. I'll just zoom in a bit here. It's just the zoom doesn't work really well in AWS. They didn't design it to work that great. And so that looks good. And we'll hit next. And we'll say S3 batch policy fun. And so now this is a lot more limited, right? And it does exactly what we want it to do. And then I'm going to go back into that batch policy there, because we should be able to change its trust policy. So if we go back over to here, this is what we would... Oh, sorry, that's for the role, right? Okay, so we created our policy. Now let's go ahead and create our role. And we'll just say here, custom trust policy. And then we go ahead and grab this. We'll paste that in. And we'll hit next. And then we'll choose batch. And we'll checkbox that on. And we'll go next. And we'll just say S3 batch operations fun. Go ahead and create this role. We'll go back over to here. It's probably the most ClickOps you've seen in a while, as we seem to avoid ClickOps as much as we can. I'm going to refresh this so it shows up. I'm searching for it. There it is. We'll go ahead and hit next. After you choose create job, the batch operation will start. We'll go ahead and hit create job. And we'll give this a refresh. And it failed. That was fast. Why did it fail? Failed to parse the task from manifest at byte offset 0. Unexpected number of task fields, expected 2. Observed 1. Okay. I mean, we have 2 right here, so I'm not sure what the problem is, but give me a moment, okay? So here, this person's suggesting that we can't just apply the CSV normally. It must be URL encoded, so that character would get converted to this here. Why it's like that, I have no idea. Down below, there appears to be a little bit of code in order to do that using the ulib3 library. So we are going to need to modify this file, which is really silly. But we'll go back over to here, and I guess I'll just upload it in place. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. And we will drag in our other one here. So I'll drag this one in. This is from my desktop. And notice this one is actually not even using a comma. It's using a tab. So maybe that's our problem first. So what I'm going to do here is go back. I'm just going to delete this file here because it says you can't use a comma, but I don't know if I trust that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and see if I can save the format out in a different way. And I'm going to say save as, and I'll just save this to my desktop. Oh, look, it's defaulted as tab delimited, even though it says CSV, which makes no sense. And so I'm going to go with the Macintosh, or sorry, the Windows version, I suppose. I'm going to save that to my desktop. If I can figure out how to do that here. Usually there'll be like browse locally. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we'll go here. And I'll just say manifest CSV, and we'll save that. And what I'll do is I'll go get that from my desktop. And I'll drag it into here, and we'll take a look at what that looks like. So this one actually now has a comma, okay? So I'm going to go back over to this folder here. I'm going to upload that from my desktop. Okay, and so now this one has a comma. Now, it still might not work, as this one's suggesting that it needs to be URL encoded. Again, I don't know if that's really true, but I'm going to clone this job. It's going to have all the same settings, and we'll go ahead and hit next, and that'll be the same. We'll hit next, and that'll be the same, and we'll hit next, and we will try this again and see if it works. They're waiting your confirmation to run, so we'll click into it. I guess we have to confirm it. So I guess it's just saying, hey, the job is in good shape. We can go ahead and run it now. Let's go and run it. And it looks like it is running. Review the number of objects listed in your manifest and the pricing information, etc. We're doing very basic stuff here, so I can't expect to see any costs here. Oh, we go down below and then confirm it. Thought we ran the job already. And maybe it's running now. We'll give it a refresh here. And notice it has an active time. Not sure how long it takes to run. Oh, it looks like it's completing it now. 100% done. I'm just going to pause and I'll get back here when it's done, okay? All right, look, it looks like it's all done here. Let's go take a look and see if our object tags have been applied. So if we go into the batch fund bucket here and we click into any of these files, we should see our tag, and our tag is applied. So we are in good shape here. Now we are left to clean up. So I'm going to do this all through the console, which is a little bit unusual for us, but we're going to do that anyway. We'll go ahead and click delete. It'll first want us to empty the bucket. So we'll go here and I'll say permit to delete. And then the next step will be to delete the buckets. We'll go back over to buckets. We'll go down here to the batch fund bucket. We'll go ahead and delete the bucket. And there you go. See you in the next one.